In this session, we are going to look at a referencing, understanding of referencing, and also types of referencing, and we are going to look at the different logical operators. So first, let's see understand the referencing. Now you can see here I have data for a product, different products, toys, electronics, daily item, and grooming items from January, February, March. So here I want to do a total sales of January, February, March. There are different ways you can do it. For example, from in Excel, you should start any formula with equals to. Okay. When you enter equals to tiles, you can add manually 100 plus addition. I want the total sale 200 plus again 200. And I hit enter. Again you can see the 500 is here. But there is a problem. If I enter this for the same formula again and again, if I have thousands of record, that is a very time consuming. So you can use here the first way, and the second way is equals to and choose this cell. Okay, January. Okay, January plus February plus and then March and hit enter. Now let's see for other exams. Now you can see this formula is applied for all the records. But again, another method, if you want, there is a sum also. I enter a sum and with the range. Okay, so this is another method. Now I want to calculate a profit. Okay, so first thing we need to understand how it's work, this referencing and all. So remember, as I told, all Excel formulas start with the equal to and can either be selected from the formula library or typed directly into the formula bar. Now here you can see the equals to is begun type formula, and pop up then it's showing the different, guide you through the step shown in the bold size. Okay, whenever I enter some formula, okay, now you can see we can see clearly the pop up here, like a number 1 you can enter number 2. So this is for how can you use a formula. Okay, number 1, if I want to type 2, then type 2 and then 30. Okay, likewise. Now this is for equals to. Now there is another reference is single cell references. It means if I just want some, or you just select this here, so this is a single array, this is a single reference. Okay, it's describe a sales location within a worksheet in terms of intersection between a columns, okay, and a rows. So this is a single cell. Okay, now array references, it means describe a contiguous group of cells based on the location of the top left and the bottom right. Okay, then the separation is the same. Now if I enter equal to sum and I want to select from N to P, like so, this is called a array selection. Okay, remember this is the array selection. When you selection the, you can see in the example also, this area is a array. Another one references is a non-contiguous references. It's a different selection of individual cell that you do not share a common border separation by the comma. Okay, so if again I want something like that. Okay, but here is, if I want to select a different one, you can see this is, you don't want in an array, but your data is from O and another is a Q. So you can select like this. So this is the different types of referencing, and another references is absolute referencing and relative references. So in the relative references, what will happen? Changes when the formula is copied to another. Okay. What happened here, you can see, when I just enter one time formula, but here you can see the first is B4, then C4 and D4. And automatically the references are changed from B4 to B5, C5 and D5. Here you can see there is a 4, here is a 5, now here is a B6, B7, B8. So this is a relative referencing. Okay, when your formula is when you copied from one column to the another, and that is a copied, it means it is a relative referencing. Okay, now we can look at the absolute referencing. Absolute referencing, it means whenever you that remain the constant formula, that no matter where they are, okay, copied. It means now you can see with the example. I want to calculate profit. Here I enter a margin, and remember in mathematical most of operators use in Excel plus, minus and division, okay, and multiplication. Okay, so now the profit margin for this here is a 5% and total sales is a, now we are calculated. So I choose this one, then I want it to the multiplication with this. Okay, if I enter is a 25. Okay, so if a 5% profit margin from the 500 is a 25. If I copied this formula from here to here, you can see there is a no change, this is a 0. Why? Here we already know this is the relative referencing, but why there is a 0? Because this relative referencing is a copied from this I2 to I3, but I3 we don't have any value, there is a 0, and when you multiply the 0, that will be a 0. So for that we need to lock this value from here. Okay, so now you can see, so for that we use a dollar sign. Okay, just enter here, and for the this item, or you can, suppose you don't want to enter this one by one, you just choose this and F4. The shortcut is F4. Remember, the shortcut is F4. Now hit enter, and now you just copied your, you can see from 700 to 35. So this is called a absolute referencing, means you locked this I2 value to for this whole range. Okay, so it is not changing I3, I4, I5. Okay, so whenever you feel this value I am using constantly for the all records and don't want to change to the range, so use absolute referencing to using a dollar sign, and remember the shortcut is F4. If you select this one to F4, okay, so that will be lock that cell. Okay, so understand relative referencing and absolute referencing. Now moving to the next logical operators, but first thing is there are different logical operators: sum, if, nested if and, if or, if and plus not also. So we can check one by one. So first, in a if logical operator is, you can see this formula here. Okay, if formula, it means if and a then. whenever your logic first is a true, that shows the true, and the condition will be false, then the value becomes shown the false. Okay, so any test that result in either true or a false. Okay, we choose the what you want to. Suppose here is the example. If B2, you can see the 75 is greater than or equal to 32, so then return a S, or if it is a false, then return a no. It means this condition is if and then. If this condition is true, give me this value, but if it is not that condition, this condition is a true, give me this another condition. Okay, you can see this formula is if logical test value if true. Okay, first return a value if true. Okay, this condition if Google is equal to the etc, so return the value written in the logical test is a true, and value if false, then give the return if logical test is a false. You can see in the example, in this categorizing the fridge column as S if the temperature is equal to or below 32, otherwise no. So this how if condition is working. Let's move to the practical example. First we need to do a sum formula. As we already learned, it is sum of the values. Okay, so here I created a button. You can just click on here this, and you can see the instruction here. Calculate the total marks sum of the all subject. It means here are the how many subject maths in a OC, physics, again math marks in a maths in a accountant. So for that we already learned sum in the bracket. We choose this range from here to here and hit enter. Okay, and this formula we need to copy for all. Just double click on that. Now moving to the if, check the instruction. Check if student passed in a maths. Okay, criteria should be score at least 35. It means we have to check in a maths. Here is a math column. The criteria is at least have the 35 mark. It means pass or else fail. Okay, so let's return this formula equals to, as we saw the formula, if, okay, then here is a maths is for F. Okay, F, what is the, we have 10. Okay, it is a greater than or equal to 35, then what we want to return as a pass. Okay, pass, or else if this condition is not true, then write it as a false. Okay, but in double quotation. Remember, you need to do in a double quotation. Then if we write in a single quotation, that will not work. You can see the 81 is a greater than 35, it is a pass. Let's see for the all. You just click on this plus sign and double click on that. You can automatically, you can see 34 is below 35, that's why it's showing a false. Okay, or we can say I want more than false, fail. Okay, you can say this is a fail, and also yeah, this number is below the 35. Now next is a nested if. Okay, how the nested if works. Okay, by using nested if statement, you can include a multiple logical test. Here we use just if this condition is true, then give me the another condition. But in a nested if, you can add a multiple logical test. Okay, now you can see if B2 is a greater than 40. Okay, here is a B2. Write it a cold. If the temperature if more than 40, write it a cold. If no temperature if the less than 40, then it is a cold, and if B2 is a greater than 12 80, then it's hot. But I want another condition. Okay, if these two conditions are satisfied, okay, cold and hot, but other temperature what? So for that I just write in the mild. Okay, so whenever you want to the false condition, don't write in first condition. Remember, don't write in a first condition. You should write in the last condition if you want the alternative, the last condition. You can see if temperature is less than, then you write a cold and a hot and a mild. Let's see with the practical example. Now here in the, if we can check with the another example also with the this QC. Okay, OC. So if equal to, I want if, then what with the condition was, where is the OC is here. Okay, this OC will greater than or equal to 35, then you should write as a pass or a fail, but in a double quotation, and hit enter. And this should be copy for the last up to the row. You can see fail, fail, pass, pass. For this I will delete for now, so we can do it practically. Now in a nested if, I already told, whenever you want a multiple condition, you can use a nested if. Okay, so equals to if, let's see the what is the instruction we want to do it. If student scored above 300, terms it excellent. Okay, if the student have more than 300 marks, then it's terms it excellent. Below the 300, it means, or above 200, the between, it terms a average student, and the below 200 need to improvement. Okay, let's do. It means the criteria is saying if student have greater than 300 is excellent, or less than 300 or equal to 200 is a okay, or less than that, below the 200 it means need to improvement. So let's do with the if equals to, start with the if, and then let's start with the H. Where is the our total score? Yeah, here we already calculate total score. Okay, so H10, if it's a greater than or equal to 300, then write it as a excellent, as we saw. Okay. And comma. Now the first condition is true, but I want to add another condition. Okay, I want to add another condition here. So for that, again you need to start with the if condition. Okay, now you can see, and then again you add H10 is greater than or equals to 200, and comma the average student. Okay, now suppose these all condition are satisfied, but there is a less than 200, then add need to improvement. Okay, add a need improve. Okay, let's close with the bracket. Whenever you see the how many bracket are we are opened, like here, here, and now we need to close with the both. Okay, this the you can see the result. Average need to improve. Whenever you see the more than 300 mark, that will return as excellent. Let's see, we have the anyone. Yeah, I saw more than 300. Okay, you can see the this is the excellent student, and other need to improve, and average one. Okay, now we have another logical operator is if and or. So what is if and or? Is basically whenever you enter the formula if, okay, that in a statement. And what is the difference in a and a or? Okay, so let's suppose whenever you have that all condition will be true, we need to true, that time that and give the true. And in or, if any condition is true, that will give the result as a true. But in a and, you have a suppose a 14 statements are true, conditions are true, but one condition is a false, then that time that's all result will show as a false. But in a here in a or, it's not like that. To whenever you have 14 conditions are false and one condition is a true, that result will show as a true value. Okay, this is the difference in a and a or. Okay, so let's begin to the and a or. Okay, as you see in the formula, first thing you should start with the equals to and a if. Okay, I will zoom it a little bit. Okay, now here is the first need to see the if and okay. Now if student is from Kingston and is doing master, so call him a Kingstonite. Okay, so this is a basic. If student is from Kingston and doing a master, okay, let's see where is this values are. Okay, you can see the college is a Kingston and a degree, if suppose he is doing a master, it means he's a Kingston. For that we need to add a multiple conditions, and we need to both are true. Okay, here we can't sacrifice to finding the false. Okay, we need to have both conditions and all condition will true. Suppose is not there, then we add a not a Kingstonite. Okay, so let's equal to and then enter as a B515 comma Kingston. If C6, now this condition is we wrote, and now C15 is equal to them then master. If these two conditions are true, then write it as Kingstonite. The close the bracket from and or, and then write Kingstonite and equals then comma. If it is not true, then not a Kingstonite. Remember, formula is start with if, then and. If which condition you want to apply, B15 equal to Kingston and C15 is equal to master. So both condition are in a same bracket. Okay, same rounded bracket. Then you write then condition. If this is the if condition, suppose, and this is the else, we can say Kingstonite, then it is not, then this condition is given a Kingstonite, then write as not a Kingstonite, you can see, and then you can apply with this all other also. Okay, and now in if and or condition is if student is from Harvard or of Oxford, then he is from a LY, LBY, okay? And then we can see this statement. So here is a or condition, okay? So remember, if B10 is equal to Oxford or B10 equals to Harvard, okay? In this one column, we are adding a two conditions, okay? But whenever it is a one single condition is true, we can use ILS or not ILS, okay? So write it as a if or B10 equal to Oxford or B10 equals to Harvard, then write is ILS or not ILS, because you can see if it is a Oxford and it's from a degree is a Harvard University or a degree wherever, yeah, okay, you can see the Harvard and then is a Oxford. If that condition is true, then write it as a ILS or not ILS, okay? So clear? Whenever we have and, it means we need to true all the condition. In a or, if it is a one condition is true, that's written as a true. Using the if and or formula, start with if, then and, or if you want a or, then in the and condition and in or condition, start with the which condition you start, and then start with your second condition, then write it your the then condition, okay? You can see in and also B16 is the Kingston, B C16, if it is it true value, two values are correct, it means that is Kingstonite, then not Kingston. In a not, you can see as we wrote, if in a one column we have Oxford and a Harvard, in an ILS or not ILS, okay? So that's it for this session. Thank you.